Welcome to Fallawsophy. I'm your host, Jennifer Fallaw, and tonight we're going to do some readings after we learn 3 Steps to Centered by Archangel Uriel. He gave this to me years ago, and it is a very useful tool that you can use time and time again throughout your life to get back to a centered place to make a solid decision. And we're going to do that in a minute. First, let's do a check and see if everybody is... Oh, I see Ron is here. Hi, let's see if we got admin in here. All right, it's Carissa, Gina. Let's see if anybody's in there. Scott, anybody present? Okay, everybody hold off your questions and your rumble rants until I tell you to, okay? And then we'll do that. And that's fine. We're going to have, we'll do a $10 limit tonight. Things are really slow, so what we're going to do on Thursday night is we're going to do a $20 limit. I do that. Okay. So, Marcy's here. Everything's cool. Yep. We're good. Okay. Excuse the way I look. It's hotter than hell in this room. It's probably like close to 90 degrees in this room. So if I start sweating profusely, just look away. Let's listen to what I'm saying. Doesn't matter. Okay. So, long time ago, I used to worry about a whole bunch of stupid things that now seem meaningless to me. Looking back on it, just everything. I used to worry about everything. What's going on with the family and everybody's life, every little thing I have to do, every little bill I have to pay, what I'm doing with my life, where I'm going. I mean, just everything. And I remember at this, I was talking to the angels, and Archangel Uriel showed up in meditation and taught me this. Now, this is a 9-day process if you want to do it right. Okay, have I ever finished the 9 days? No. I didn't need it. But if you really want to do it right, you do each step for 3 days. And this is just it's just a thought process. Okay? It's I don't know what you're talking about, Marcy. It is it's just a thought process as you go about your day, your work. It's just a reminder to stay centered in gratitude. And it does many things for you. And it's something you can go back to time and time again, like I said, and I have, for the rest of your life. All right. So, 3 steps to centered. The purpose here is to become centered in the truth of your current reality, your current existence. So we are going to have an exercise. The entire thing is the exercise. Okay? And I've done this show many times over the years, but I want to have it recorded along with the rest of our other conscious creation exercises. And for all you guys, you get to learn all this first before the rest of the world. And there will be a point in time when I take all these exercises down, all these recorded videos that I've been doing. So, write it down now. I asked Archangel Uriel a long time ago, why does it take 9 days, impatient me? I'm like, okay, I got it. I've learned it. Yes, absorbed. I have it. Cool. No. He says it takes 9 days to establish a regimen, to establish a habit, to change the way you think, to get back to center. Some people won't take that long. So, 3 steps to center. Our first step is material blessings in your life. Yes, this is, we're going to stay centered in gratitude, but not the normal, rainbows and butterflies, gratitude. I'm so thankful for everything. This is really going deep with the gratitude. Okay, and waking you up again out of your funk. At the time when he taught me, I was so many worries swirling in my head. I was trying to make a decision about something, and I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I'm just like, I don't even know. Help me make this decision. That's why I was in meditation in the first place. And he says, you need to get centered. I'm like, how do I do that? What does that even mean? I'm like, I need answers here, man. I mean, like, I don't need this now. And it's funny because as I look back on all the things that the angels taught me, this God-centered conscious creation seems like something new, but I look back and everything I've been learning for the last 20 years is part of it. Somebody said, did we lose Jen? Am I here? Can I get a 10-4 if you can hear me before I begin? Anyone? That's going to piss me off. Can I get a comment from anybody? Can you hear me? 10-4. All right, we're good. Okay. Step 1. We are taught, step 1 is notice the material blessings in your current life. Your current reality. Okay? Now, we as good little boys and girls have been taught that we're not supposed to like material things. We're not supposed to like nice things. We're not supposed to want our house to look nice and wear nice clothes and we're supposed to be grateful with anything that we have and not even pursue anything material. Well, that's just not realistic, is it? We've lived our entire lives wanting to accumulate material things. So let's get real here for a second. I'm a Taurus. It's not that I have to have shiny jewelry and things like that. Never really cared about that. But I like that everything in the living room matches. And then in the winter, we have nice blankets. And I have, everything coordinates and it's not ripped and old and dirty or anything. Everything's clean. I love that. I have more clothes than anybody I know. Mostly tops, dresses, things like that. Because it makes me happy. Absolutely happy. Where do I get it? Like Ross, TJ Maxx. I don't really care. I will not buy something full price unless it's for a special occasion. But I will do that. I am a bargain shopper. I will find it, whatever it is, within our budget. But it does make me happy to have it. And lots of it. And I'm not afraid to admit it. That's the truth. Isn't it? We all want to have nice cars. We all want to have nice houses. We all want to see our kids in good clothing. They're not high water pants or whatever. That's the truth. All right? And we compare ourselves to everybody else and all the stuff that they have. And we determine their worth and compare ourselves to them because of the stuff that they have accumulated. So it doesn't make any sense for us to sit around and feel bad about that when we spent our entire life, gone to college, built a business, did whatever you did to accumulate these things. When it comes to peace within yourself, high vibrational energy. Yes, I have a big ring on. It's fake. It's silver, but it's not. We need to go in there and dig for these black bubbles of dark energy that's just floating around in our energy field, spots that we could be feeling with peace and high vibrational energy and become a powerhouse of creation. Okay? So this is part of it. And so that is what we're doing and what we have been doing for many weeks now, to talk through and walk through these exercises to do that, to get rid of those dark bubbles that are floating around in our energy field that could be filled with light. Okay? So sometimes we get a little down. Okay? Excuse me, I'm sweating to death. Show must go on. So sometimes we get a little down. And we start thinking, oh, they have more than me, or I don't have anything, or everything's broken. You know, me as a woman, I am not afraid of being a woman. I love being a woman. I love everything that I do, professionally or at home. I'm a good combination of both. And I don't care if anybody doesn't think that's okay, because you are then not invited into my reality. So sometimes I get down and I'm thinking, oh my God, that's broken. And, you know, the kids are always stealing my stuff. It always ends up in the downstairs kitchen. They never bring it back. And I'm like, you know, I'm this age and I have no spoons. All right. But certain things about my life, I'll walk around, I'm like, oh my God, there's always so much to clean. There's always so much to do. There's a stack of paperwork. There's just all these things. You know, sometimes we just get so wrapped up in stupid little worries that mean nothing. What everybody said at work, or whatever, you know, whatever's going on with everybody else's life, and our perceived view of who we are now and what our labels are and everything else, you know, and oh my God, there's some looming umbrella of debt, you know, invisible numbers on a screen. Pay the bill. Okay? Keep up with it. You'll deal with it later. But we'll worry endlessly about the stupidest of things and then wonder, okay, I have to come to a solid decision about something. I mean, I have to make change in my life. You know, I have to make a decision on this. I just can't do it. I've got too much bombarding me, too many black circles floating around in my energy field. Okay? This is when we want to get to this. Okay? This is when we want to do the 3 steps of centered. 3 steps to centered. Okay. First step, we're going to recognize and notice all of the material blessings in our life that add to our life. With each step, every time we recognize something that is a blessing in our life, that adds to our life, that adds to our comfort, we're going to say, thank you, God. Okay? The first step is my favorite step. Okay? We're going to say, thank you, God, because we recognize that each and everything that is in our life, whether we put the effort in, is something that has been created within our reality by Him, by His energy, and provided for us. Whether it was given to you, you went out and get it yourself, it was made available for you to seek and find and to acquire. And that came from Him. So that is where our gratitude is going to go. So first step, this is what we're going to do. This was the funnest step for me. Then we get into the deep stuff later, okay? I've done so much work on step 2 and 3 throughout my life that step 1 is usually all I need to snap me out of it. So when we start getting terribly negative, oh my God, the sky is falling. I have too many problems. Everything's just too dark. I just can't do it. Just can't go on. Well, we need to step back into a place of gratitude. Okay, well, yeah, I'm thankful. So what people usually start with, okay, I have a roof over my head, thank you, God. There's food in the kitchen, thank you, God. I have a car to drive, thank you, God. I have a bed to sleep in. Thank you, God. No, 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 no. We're going deep in this one. We're going deep. I want you to wake up for a second. Nobody needs to know what you're doing, and it's probably best that they don't. This is for you, completely for you. So as a female, I was trying this, okay? So I went into the bathroom when I was doing this. I was walking around the house, and I'm noticing, like, oh, you have a roof over my head, and, and I'm like, well, you know what? More than one room in my house. I actually have a room for every person in the house. I actually have an extra room should other people come by. I do not have enough storage, so we're not going to focus on that. It's probably because I have too much stuff. But so I was doing that, and then I went into the bathroom, and I wasn't like going to the bathroom. I just went into the bathroom, and I started just opening drawers, looking in the cabinets, just looking at all the stuff, all the soaps and the hair things, and the makeup, and just every kind of lotion you could think of, and just everything I could possibly need to keep myself clean, healthy, and looking presentable. Okay. And so I'm finding, and I hadn't even looked at all this stuff. You get these drawers in the bathroom, you just throw it in there under the sink, the cabinets everywhere. I've just got stuff everywhere. Not on the counters. It has to be put away. Okay? Because that is unacceptable if there's too much clutter out of its place. I don't like that. So, but don't open the cabinet, all right? Because there's way too much stuff in there. But I was going through everything, and I'm like, how did I get this? I could totally do that. I could totally put this face mask on, some night. I'm like, look at all this stuff I have. Wow. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And I'm like, I am just in the bathroom. I'm like, I am so abundant. How did I get all this crap? I'm like, well, shit, I must have done well and made some money. I just kept buying all this stuff, like it took me like years to accumulate all this stuff. I'm like, God, I feel so abundant, and I just started in the bathroom. Here's the other part of it that I forgot. Before we even begin, if you're having a hard time stepping into the search for material abundance in your life, I want you to imagine yourself out in the middle of the desert, naked. No clothes, no sunscreen, no water, no shelter, no shoes, no nothing. Just out in the middle of the desolate desert, nothing. Start there. What would you really need? What do you really need to feel comfortable in your own skin, to feel comfortable in your own life? Then we move to step 1. Because there's some people that are saying, well, I'm so poor, I don't have this, I don't have anything, I just have so very little, and everybody has so much more than I do. And most of those people, when they do that, they just did not work hard enough. I'm sorry. There's the reality of the situation. You want more, do more. Don't get me started on that. Some people have been through some bad things, and it's not their fault, all right? But I don't care how much you have. We're going to recognize everything that adds to our comfort and peace in our life that is a material thing. So we're going to do that whenever you remember. Whenever you start worrying again, we're going to switch over into awareness of the material blessings that add to our comfort and peace, and then say, thank you, God. Because what we're doing is we're recognizing the gift. We're staying centered in right now. We're not off in the past. We're not off in what needs to be done in the future. We're waking up and being aware right now. And every moment that you spend in gratitude is another moment that you do not spend in low vibrational worry or fear. So just in step 1, 3 days, you have spent, if you're really good at it, you really spend some time on it, you have spent 3 days, and probably the longest period in your life, that you have not let fear live in your mind, worry live in your mind. You have not stayed centered in negative emotion. That is key to creating positive outcomes. Positive energy creates, negative energy destroys. And we as human beings, with our thought patterns, we end up with something somewhere in the middle. Okay? You ever meet a person who is always so positive and their life is great? Everything good happens to this person. And you're just like, well, they're so positive because everything good happens to them. No, everything good happens to them because they choose to believe that it will. To look at their life in a positive way. Yeah, recognize things. Oh, that's too, yeah. My Nana was like that. Went through the depression. She was always like, oh, yeah, that's terrible. Yeah. Yeah, this is going to hurt, you know. And she's always like, you want to bake some cookies or something? You know, no, that's why I'm fat. So, but, not that fat, but she was always so positive. She let things just roll off her back. And then she's like, well, let's look on the bright side. You know, at least you're not dead. You know, like, it's like, yeah, that's true. That is true. I'm not dead. But she would shift your attention to something else that we could do that was fun to distract us from whatever had happened, any worry in her life. So that's what we're going to do. We're retraining ourselves to stop staying centered in the negative, in the low vibrational energy, and starting with the material blessings, something that we've always focused on, the easiest place to start. That's the easiest place to start. We can see it, we can feel it, we can touch it. This is where we announce to the universe that we are abundant already. And if we are abundant already, we will create more. More will find us. We will attract it. You do not trace, you chase, you attract. Right? That doesn't mean you sit around and do nothing. That means you're absolutely sure that it will find you. And then it will. Because we're not blocking it with the thoughts that say, no, I'm poor. I'm miserable. I'm all of these negative things. I'm going to chip, but I really kind of like this. So we get a little bit of light, you know, like, oh, I want to be rich someday, or I want to be successful, I want to be whatever. We get a little bit of light that comes through this big cloud of darkness, and it's not enough power to create it. Okay? So what we want to do is become these, you know, spiritual creation badasses, powerhouses, and walk around like the positive people that we've seen and make it happen. Okay? So, 3 days we're going to walk around just like I did. Get in the car to go to work. Oh my God, I got to go. No. Okay, as soon as you start doing that, you just have to say nope in your mind. No, I'm not doing that today, because today is day 1 of 3 steps to centered. And I don't have to worry about anything today. I don't have to be negative today. I don't have to be sad or worried or mad or concerned. That can all wait. We'll put that in the trunk. Okay, you come back to it later. Today, we're going to be thankful that we were just how easy it was when there's people that have to walk to work, ride their bike, get on a subway, get on a bus, that we just walked out of the house, got into our own personal vehicle. And, I don't care. Do not get in the vehicle and say, well, look at somebody else's vehicle. Sally across the street has a really nice SUV, and I don't like mine. Don't do that. Sally also has a nice car payment, and you don't. Okay? Get in your car, because at one point in time, that was a beautiful car, wasn't it? You were happy to have that car. You actually purchased that car. You were so happy to have that car. It is your own personal car. What are all the things that car can do for you? Take about 3 minutes before you drive to work. Get up a little bit earlier. Sit in there for a second. You know what? It's hotter than hell outside. I actually have air conditioning in this car. If it were to rain or hail, I would be safe in this car. I could drive anywhere I wanted to in this car. I could totally just skip work today, drive to the beach or something. It's not responsible, but I could do that if I wanted to. If I was at work and somehow I couldn't get back home, I could actually sleep in this car. I have mobile shelter with this car. Okay? Thank you, God, for the opportunity to have this car. And we're going to bless the car. Thank you, God, for blessing this car and keeping it running. It's running today. We're not going to worry about tomorrow. We're not going to worry about what we put into it. We're not going to worry about any of that. Today, it works. Okay? It is a blessing. We're going to add it to our list. And we're going to be, thank you, God. Thank you for that blessing in my life. Every time you do this, kind of funny. I ended up laughing to myself about all the things that I was finding. And, I think at the end, I've done this. I've done step 1 many times. But at the end of that, I was kind of like, I got too much crap. Like I need to give some of my abundance away because I am so abundant. I will give it to people who don't have a lot of abundance, and they will be thankful because this abundance I shared my abundance with them. So that's what we do with that. All right. Step 2. Now that we've gotten our place, every day that you do this, your vibration rises. Every hour that you do this, you choose not to stay centered in negative energy. Your vibration starts to rise. When you feel the joy of whatever that item is, or you feel the abundance, or you feel that you have been blessed, you are sucking in more high vibrational energy, and it just will. How do I raise my vibration? People ask me. I'm just so down. This is how you do it. Centered. What does it mean to be centered? To be awake in your current reality. Okay? To stop listening to all the lies that are swirling around in your head. Well, you can't do this and you can't do that. And oh my God, what if this happens? And oh my God, what if most of everything you worry about never happens anyway? Oh my God, what if I fail? Well, you haven't failed yet, buddy. You're not a failure. You'll pull it out. You'll figure it out. And you know it. But what if I don't? Well, then it'll probably be the first time that you don't. And so what? Then you'll figure something new out. Okay? We give so much importance to the worry. Instead of feeding ourselves with the creation, with the positive energy. Oh my God, what if they don't love me? What if I never hear from them again? What if I can't make the bills next month? Well, you've made the bills every freaking month since you've lived here for like 10 years. It's probably going to happen. You'll probably be okay. Sell something from your amazing pile of abundance here. Do something new, change something. Um, Chances are you'll be fine. And most of the time, when you look back, what did you worry about 4 months and 3 days ago? You can't even remember. But 4 months and 3 days ago, you were a mess about it. Okay? Did everything turn out okay? Yeah, you're still here. Still here. Probably doing all right. Okay. So we've done step one. Let's say we went the distance and we did 3 days. Okay. I usually do like one day. But, don't listen to me. I'm impatient. 3 days. Now you're walking into the house, like Doris Domestic. Like you're walking in like a ray of sunshine into the house, and you're throwing flowers on the family. And would you like me to cook you dinner in our abundant kitchen with everything that we have? And oh my God, we have so much food. Instead of there's nothing to eat, That's what happens to me. I'm just like, oh, hello, let's everybody be happy. Start commenting about, oh my God, have you ever noticed how many utensils we have? I mean, have you ever noticed this thing that this awesome utensil here that you can crush hamburger with? Isn't that awesome? My kids are looking at me like, did you drink something? But that's what I'm talking about. The smallest of things, like this. I don't even know why this is in here. This hair clip. Everybody's like, oh, I have like 20 of these. They're like, I got them from the dollar store or whatever. Like this hair clip. How many uses could we find for this hair clip? I mean, just off the top of my head, besides the hair, like if I didn't want to lose these two pins and they kept rolling off, now I've got a tool that will hold the pins together. It actually will sit flat on the desk. Creative with it. So this is why it becomes funny. Because you start thinking, you really go into depth about the gratitude of the hair clip that probably cost you like 20 cents. Then what we do in our abundance, if you want to go a step further with that, sometimes all of the abundance that we have accumulates in such a way that it becomes stressful in our environment. Like the guest room. After the divorce, the guest room went from being a beautiful guest room into a storage room with lots of boxes. And then, of course, when there's a storage room in the house, everybody and their mother, every time they get a box or something they don't know what to do with, they put it in the guest room. So what you can do in that situation, I've been chipping away at it. If it seems like too big a thing, okay, just side note, just go in there once a day for like 20 minutes and do a little corner. Take something out of there. Okay, organize something. If you have too much clutter in your house, you're going to feel, I'm like sweating to death, excuse me. You're going to feel like your life is chaotic. Take a look at your surroundings. We want to be grateful and thankful for everything, but then we can put the effort in to like, I'm really grateful for everything I have in my home, which is my life. Everybody thinks, oh, my life is my job. It's my friends. No. This is your home base. This is where your security comes from. This is where you're returning to. This is where you spend the majority of your time. If you're spending more time at work than you are at home, you need to find a balance. Okay? How can I make this more pleasing? How can I arrange all of these blessings that I have in such a way that makes me feel peaceful? Create your sanctuary after you are thankful for what is in it. And a lot of times when I started this, I was worried about money. I was worried about lacking. I was worried about not having enough. And when I got done with it, I was like, I have so much. And then I thought about the way God was looking at me, talking about how, oh my God, help me with this, God. Like I have to get this, I have to achieve, I have to accumulate more things in my life. How am I going to move? You're fine. Go back in your mind to the person standing in the desert who is naked and has nothing, burning to death, um, snakes clinging to their legs and scorpions and everything. And compare yourself to that, not the neighbor who's got the new car. Okay? Stay centered in gratitude and check off step 1. Step 2 is we're going to recognize all the emotional blessings in our lives. And you're like, oh, that's easy. Is it? So that's easy to start with. Oh, emotional blessings. Oh, my spouse, my children, We're really going to pick this apart. Okay? We want to start thinking about their friend. Your friends, we're going to extend it out. We're going to start with the basic unit, okay, at home. We're going to talk, don't think of anything negative about them right now. Okay, like those damn kids never clean their. No. We're going to think about how their presence in you adds to your happiness, your joy, your reality. We're going to take it one person at a time. Okay? First, we're going to imagine if they were not there. This is going to shift your perspective immediately. You're going to drop everything that upsets you, everything you're mad at, all the grudges you're holding. I tell you, if somebody passes, that means jack shit. All right? Everything you think is so important means jack shit. Now, you want to look at your pain in the ass daughter who doesn't do what she's supposed to do and is always giving you a hard time, all right? Teenagers, I'm sorry. It's a hard time. That was like, I'm just going to use that as an example forever. And then I want you to let all of the joyful memories that you had with her and have had with her just flash through your mind. I want you to tune into the essence of her or your spouse or whoever it is you chose to look at first. And this really doesn't take much time. You do it really quickly. Because if you start with nothing and you look at everything you have, you are immediately abundant. If you start with loss and realize that you didn't lose them, the one thing that everybody who has lost someone wishes would happen, that they are still present, they are still in your life. We want to recognize everything, even the hard times with them now. All right, this is where it gets deep. We want to recognize, and we don't want to just look at all the happy times. Because even if you have someone that's younger than you, like a child, and you're teaching them about life, okay? You're learning lessons while you're teaching them lessons. Well, until I was her mother, I didn't know what it was to be selfless. I didn't know the true depth of love. There's many things I didn't know. And then you're thinking about how this child or this person or this spouse has contributed to your life, the mark that they've made, all the things that they've taught you, all the times, even if it scared you to death, when they didn't come home on time or whatever it was. Just how thankful you are to have known them, to have them in your presence, to have them in your life, even if they're not even talking to you anymore. They're still there. They're still real. They're still in your energetic field. And they think they know everything, and they're out there, oh, I'm never talking to you again, and I'm never going to see you again because you're this or you're that. They'll be back. Trust me. They'll be back. They got a whole lot of life to live. They're still there. You are energetically bound. And they can say anything they want, but you're the voice in their head. They still love you. You are loved by at least one. Now, we're going to look at the spouse. We're going to look at everybody that inhabits your home. Then we're going to extend out there the extended family. And this is where it gets good. We're going to take a look at the people in our lives. And every time we think of something that has added to our experience, our soul experience, our lessons, we're going to say thank you, God, and be grateful for it. Now, day 1 of step 2, we have spent 4 days not worrying. We have spent 4 days pulling in positive energy. We have spent, and this step really cleanses. It cleanses away the emotional baggage, the things that we did not see correctly, the things that the angels and God put us through lesson after lesson to make us see, become apparent, the value that these people have in our lives, and just even their very existence, especially children, the value that their presence has had in your entire soul existence. Okay? So now we're over there, and we've got the extended family, and they're a bunch of jerks. No, listen. Each and every person that comes into your life has taught you something. Whether it's patience, whether they were a catalyst to push you forward in life. I always use the stepfather. The guy is not all bad, okay? Just, the narcissist. They're annoying. I was bound and determined, even though just because he had a daughter, and his daughter had to be the star, which she was not, I'm just saying. I was bound and determined because he thought, no matter what you do, I'm never going to say I'm proud of you. It's never going to be enough. You're never going to be smart enough, professional enough until such time as you are richer than me. And then when you're richer than him, he's going to hate you. he's going to villainize you. So, but there were many times when I laughed at that man. He had made a positive impact by coming into our family's lives, in my mother's life, in all of our lives, at certain times, although rare. And even when he was the catalyst, I would not be who I am today without his presence. And that hurts, like, to say that, but it's the truth. That man sat at the end of a solid marble, I don't know how long the damn table was, there's like 10 chairs there, dining room table in our separate dining room with his, at the time, I don't know, $100 whiskey glass, in his, alligator boots and his tailor suits, and looking at me. Jennifer, I thought you were smart. What's this about you believing in God? Why don't you prove to me that he exists? I'm like 15. I'm over there like, I'm kind of raised in a Catholic family, my mother said. I'm like, oh my God, I've never heard such a thing. Why would somebody sit there and convince a 15-year-old? I mean, my wheels are turning. 15-year-old not to believe in God? My God, I've never heard of such a thing in my life. What the hell is going on? What kind of like demon house have you moved us into here, Mom? Totally silent, sitting there like, once you prove to me it doesn't. I was like, game on. That's when it started. Game on. Game on. It pushed me into a spiritual direction. Doesn't mean the man's evil. Although he's probably got some demons hanging out. Pushed me in that direction. It lit a fire underneath me. And I was like, oh yeah? You know, I was just like, oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you, Mom. I think this house is haunted. Now we've got like the ringleader sitting here at the dining room table hoping that I don't believe in God. I mean, what kind of horror movie is this? So, but when we take a look for the step 2 for the emotional blessings, we really, when we do this, do you know the deep emotional scarring root that I pulled out because of step 2? Step 2 forced me to take a look at that man and stop to see that that was very important. He had a very important part in my life. Even the person who came into your life knocked you up and took off, and then you hated him forever. Okay, wouldn't come back, wouldn't support you. Do you know that back in heaven, we could have planned that? You're in the planning meeting for your life with your guide, and there's all your friends and stuff, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna need somebody to come in here and be the worst mother effer that I've ever known. Knock me up on purpose, okay, and then take off, so that I will be forced to not only be everything that child needs me to be, but excel in my career so that I can support that child on my own. And then I'm going to also need a bunch of other mother efforts to come along and betray me time and time again so that I stay on that path and I become this force to be reckoned with. Anybody? And all your best friends are like, yeah, I'll totally do that. I want to be the one that knocks you up, like there. And then we all get back home and laugh about it. But it's very serious when we're here. But when we do this step 2, the emotional blessings, we can save so much money on therapy. Because the therapist will tell you need to release this. You need to understand the presence. And you're like, no, he's terrible. He deserves everything that happens to him. I hope he dies in terrible, like from gonorrhea or something like that. I resist this. I'm totally right. He's totally wrong. I am the victim. What do we remove when we do step 2? That big black bubble that says that you are the victim. So we start to see this relationship. The boss that you couldn't stand, so much so that you had to leave a job that you were so comfortable in for 10 years and leave and go and seek something else. It was totally, and nothing was available in your field, but it forced you to maybe study something different and go in a different direction. And now when you look back, it was that very jerk who was the catalyst that catapulted you in the direction that led to your greatest success. You think your friends at home? Probably. So when we take a look at the blessings, the emotional blessings in our life, the events that happen, we need to take a look deeper. We need to alchemize that, to flip it around. What did I gain from this experience when we look at it on a soul level? I think step 2 probably needs 3 days. You can stay on any step as long as you want. But we don't want to get centered in the negativity of what these people did to us again. What we want to do is we want to recognize their presence, who their character is in our story, and then immediately flip it over to something where, how did this add to my soul evolution? How have I grown from their presence in my life? What did I do? Did it catapult me somewhere? Maybe you needed somebody to come along and be terrible to you, so that survival instinct would kick in. It is the very reason that we come into a lifetime. If we stayed in the seventh heaven and everything was always wonderful, we wouldn't learn much at all. We would run out of things to experience. And the entire purpose of life itself is for God, and people say the universe because they don't want to say God, just God, to experience himself through you and every possibility of that. So step 2 is very important. It will change your life. It will solve a lot of problems. It will mend a lot of relationships. Even though we recognize that these people probably won't change and they probably won't do step 2. Our view of them, the way they affect our life, that cord that we haven't been able to pull out all this time because this terrible wound that we have that they've got to us, it just diminishes. Why? Because we learned the lesson. We understood. And it's no longer as deep a wound. Step 3. I'm flooding again. Step 3 are all the spiritual blessings in your life. All the times you've been saved. All the unseen guidance. So we're working our way from the most unimportant, everything's important really, up to him. Step 3 are the spiritual blessings in your life. That night you didn't think you could get through. Start with something big. Okay? We're going to do this as an observer, as if it's someone else's story when we take a look back at our memories. We're not going to stay centered in them. We're not going to relive the pain again, because that's going to sabotage all this high vibrational things that we're doing right now, okay? We're going to take a look at that night, that bad night that you didn't think you could make it through, and you were crying in your bed and you prayed to God, God help me. Don't let me give up. Done that too many times. Don't let me give up. Don't let me fall. Don't let me give in. Give me the answers. Help me some way. Send the money. Do something. Do something. I need it now. Every time I've done that, it's like, boom. Boom. Because I took my hands off the situation. And I asked for the help. Every time that the kids came home safely, when every time that you received guidance. I mean, I have witnessed some things in my life. Every time the angel saved you, like I know a lot of you men out there, there's many reasons why you should be dead. Okay? A lot of you are really reckless. I don't even know why my brother's still here. I have witnessed some things that are so stupid that make you believe in angels. Most of you men, you should believe in angels, because there's many times you've done some things where you wouldn't even survived. All right? You know that. Everybody knows they got guardian angels. I have seen some things. I mean, I myself have gone through a couple things. I got electrocuted in the back of the head when I was a kid. I wonder why I'm psychic. I don't think so. But I was watering the horses, and we had like this big trash can, big clean trash can on the other side of the fence. We had like the can't remember, it was 3 or 4 rung, big solid wooden fence, and then like right, and I was like 10, and in my bathing suit, hot California, walking around barefoot. There's a huge eucalyptus tree next to me. I'm leaning inside the fence, filling up the horse bucket with the hose. Okay, I was basically feral as a child. So nobody around, filling up the horse water. So the horse does something, comes over to me. I lift my head up. I'm all wet in my bathing suit. Lift my head up. And the hot wire's on high because I've got this ex-barrel racer horse who's proud cut, and he was just so wild. Scared the crap out of me. So I lift my head up, and the hot wire hits me right in the back of the head. And I remember my teeth like clenched, and I fell back. I remember that part of it. And then I woke up on the ground. And the only reason I got up is I'm like, what the heck? Why am I on the ground? And I know, I'm like, I gotta get up. There's a giant red anthill next to me. Like, those hurt really bad. So I got up and just ran off to play. I didn't tell my mom. Nothing. I mean, I could have died right there. There's no way my angels were gonna let me die right there. I've fallen out of trees, off of motorcycles, raced some guy down the steepest hill in town. I won. Okay, put my foot down. The pedal hits me in the back of the leg. Went rolling, stitches like fat tissue hanging out of my ankle, dragging the bike home. I mean, I have like hydroplaned on the freeway. I've been so sick that I had hallucinations from fever. I mean, I have watched my children been like Katie went running down concrete steps faster than I could get her when she was like 2 or 3, I can't remember. Spins in the air. There wasn't enough force of motion for that kid to spin in the air. From the way she was running, she should have fell down, cracked her head open on that conch, spin slowly. And of course, nobody's around to see it when this stuff happens. Slowly in the air. Lands on her butt in front of the steps, the concrete steps on the patio. Gently. Doesn't cry. Gets up and runs away. And I'm like, I don't even... There are angels. You have been saved. You have been guided. You have guides with you. The answer came. The times when you were told to just, maybe I'll take a different way home today. And you avoided some massive accident that everybody drove right into. These are the spiritual blessings. Those are the easiest to find. Those are the easiest to start with. Now, we're going to take that a bit further. What time is it? Yeah, I've been going on now. I'm doing the readings. I am. I get so excited about this stuff. All right. We're going to take that a bit further. We're going to add all of this stuff together, especially number 2 into number 3. And every time we recognize that something has been a blessing in our lives, what are we going to do? We're going to say, thank you, God. Because why? Because it's going to cement in our reality that we have realized that this is a blessing. That this is no longer something that I need to look at as a dark bubble in my energy field. And the dark bubble just dissipates. Now we have more space to fill with light. And now we are lighter. We're going to take that a step further. And we're going to understand that even when we thought we were never alone. that all these villains that we thought were villains could possibly have been friends. That maybe this entire time I was not powerless. Maybe this entire time God let me experience exactly what I chose to experience when I came here, and maybe I had a good reason for it. And maybe I was saved along the way by my guardian angel who chose to come and be here with me the whole time so that I could experience it. You might want to spend 3 days on that one as well. And this just goes, you could just go on and on with this, I don't know if you guys are as interested in this kind of thing as I am, but so 333, what is that? Angel number. What does that add up to? 9. What is 9? It is the end of the old and the start of the new. That's beautiful. And now you can make a solid decision. Now you take a look at that big thing that imprisoned you. That was such a big decision. That job, that change, that person, that move, that bill, that whatever it was that you were so upset about 9 days ago. Well, you don't have 9 days. Do 1 day. Do 1 hour. On each. Now you look at that and it's not so big. Now you look at that and maybe it has meaning. Now you look at that, you see where you've been, you know that you're abundant, you see that you are loved, you know that you are supported, your spiritual blessings, you know that you are guided, you know that you've been protected. Now you can make a solid decision about where you want to go next. And you'll understand what that looks like in your story. What fits the best with your story now. Three Steps to Center by Archangel Uriel. This is something that you, whether you follow all the conscious creation steps, this is something in itself that you can go back to every time you get in your funk again. And I have, trust me. Especially if you want to see something from a different perspective. Okay? So we've learned and we've retrained ourselves to stay centered in gratitude. To recognize our blessings. To stop. People get really used to staying in negativity. Being negative. Being centered on their own destruction. We don't want to do that. We want to stay centered in our own creation. We want to stay centered in our own healing. We take all these supplements and these pills and we do all these things and put all these creams on us and take all these classes. We do everything else to try to fix ourselves, to make ourselves healthy, to fight aging, to do all this stuff when all we ever really had to do is do this, is to wake up, to recharge our battery. And we forget. Why? Because we live in this reality and we've been trained. Don't think too highly of yourself. Well, don't get your hopes up. okay, well, I'll just stay back over here in this negative mindset that you've been in forever. And that's why your life's so great, right? Right? No, it's not working anymore. It's time for change. And you, if you're watching me right now, you came here to be part of the team that does it. So, why the hell not? What's going on in your mind? What other kind of dark crap is going on in your mind that you could replace with this? Oh, I don't possibly have time to do that, Jen. I couldn't possibly have time to do that. 9 days? Are you kidding? Oh, but you have time to sit around with your hamster wheel of negativity and pain and suffering and worry and anger and fear and everything else that you're entertaining, creating all these little dark bubbles in your energy field. Let's stop doing that. You really want to change, you really want to wake up. You start with things like this. Because especially the emotional blessings. Spiritual blessings, we have realized that we are never alone. That is one of the things that people suffer so terribly from loss, from everything in their life. I'm so alone. I'm fully aware that I am absolutely never alone. Okay? I mean, I actually now call it, like, in my mind, not out loud. People say that's crazy. But, to the angels and everybody that's around me, I'm like, I call privacy. I'm going into the shower. Why not? This is what Jesus, this is deep cleansing. A deep acknowledgement of what you're really doing to yourself. Okay? Maybe you don't need that intensive therapy to stop hating your stepdad and blame him for everything in your freaking life. Well, it's because of the narcissist that was in my life that, I'm screwed up now. Are you? You're going to let them do that to you forever. So you've given them a free pass to be in control of the rest of your freaking life because of their presence in it. Or you're going to learn the lesson now that soul who chose to come in and be a pain in the ass narcissist doesn't mean they're evil. Because a lot of these narcissists, we've seen a lot of good in these people. They've done a lot of good. Okay? Maybe we can finally learn the lesson and stop running the same damn cycle over and over again. Oh, why is it that every person I've ever was ever with has treated me terribly? Because you came here to learn something and you didn't learn it. And you keep choosing the same damn people who are going to come in and do the same damn thing to you. Why? Oh, it goes, everything's my fault? Yeah, pretty much. You wrote the damn story. People hate that when I say that. Pretty much. Yeah, everything's my freaking fault too. On a soul level. When we take a look, we look at it at a higher space. Yeah. So, 3 steps is centered. You can do it for the rest of your life. Every time you get into a funk, every time you need to see something from a different perspective. Why is it I can't get this person out of my mind? I hear that so often. I don't know. Why don't you take a deeper look at it and see what is it you're supposed to learn from it? Oh, this person's put a curse on me because everything in my life has fallen apart since I, rejected them or I denied them or whatever, I hear that a lot. I know they didn't. Maybe you're supposed to be with them. I don't know. We have to look at things on a higher level. Your free will does not begin here. Marcy, right? Free will. All right. 3 steps is centered. Try that. Work on it. You'll like it. It's freeing. You'll have to do it over and over again because you will forget. I do. I'd get into a place where I'm all right, Jen. God. 3 steps to center. Or somewhere off, one of the angels like 3 steps to center. 3 steps to centered. let's get balanced. Let's get centered. Let's get back. Let's see everything for what it really is, and not this giant big problem that you've created in your mind that's never going to frickin' happen. Okay? All right. And then decide from there. You made your decision. Now you can make your decision about what it is that you would like to create next. Okay. Let's do the questions. Marcy's over there holding everybody off. I'm gonna drink out of me. I can't find the straw for my favorite Yeti because the children steal all my crap. Okay. So this straw is so long, I keep hitting myself in the mouth with it. Welcome to my life. All right. Let me get in here. Everybody, you can do the Rumble Rants now. Please do the Rumble Rants. There's a $10 minimum. I don't know what you're all doing out there, but sales have gone into the toilet for June and July. Can't have that. Mama's got to panic. Start selling stuff. All right. Let's hit it. All right. Who's this? Janet. 5. Hi, my name is Janet. Do I purchase the large farm property in Okeechobee? It's either that one or something close to it, because the location's about right. Okay. Shira 42. Thank you, Shira. I like the $20 Rumble Rants. I'm just saying. I do like those. Anybody doesn't like that? I don't care. Hi, Jen. Julie Crawford here. My mom's heavenly birthday was July 4th. Oh, happy birthday, Mom. Does my mom, Janice Harry, have a message for me? Janice Henry. I really miss her. Thank you for everything. What? I heard you talking to me on the 4th. I'm listening. There's nothing else you need to do. So I don't know if that's an answer to something you were asking. Okay. Janet 5. 042. Scott 1484. Hi, Scott. Well, I purchased a house on Ocean Drive in Emerald Isle, North Carolina for the Airbnb. Still in the basement. I know that. Well, Scott, what were we just talking about? Will you purchase that house? Why are you announcing to me that you're still in the basement? Why aren't you telling me that I'm about to move out of the basement? Or, like I'm buying this house very soon here. I am not defined by living in the basement or something. Okay? We need to start thinking about how we speak. Don't get weird with it. We still have to fit in. All right? A little bit. Enough. Let's fit in enough. You don't need to tell everybody this, what you're doing. You don't need to tell anybody what you're doing. All right? Yes, I do think that is a possibility, Scott. I do think that I get a good vibe on that one. Scorpio Mama Bear, 7, $20. Thank you. Hi, Jen. This is Pamela Perry. I have to be out of this by August 13th. Out of this by August 13th. Will buy a house or rent a house? You will buy a house. Jan, 7777, $20. Jan, here, looking for my mother-in-law Anne's will. Oh, look, mother-in-law Anne's will. Where do I look? I am not the right person to ask. Susan Gratz? Probably better for that. Did you shred it? No. It's in a leather bound something, looks like a book. Is there a bench of some kind, that would be like a a bench you sit and put your shoes on, or possibly a cedar chest that she has at the end of a bed somewhere? I'm seeing something more like that has old books, things in it. Look for that. Connie Anderson, hi Jen. Can you see if the medication my son Kyle is on will help him? Dosage needs to increase, but it will eventually give him the results he needs. Yeah, we do need to increase that a little bit. Not too much, but just a little bit. Like almost there. Okay. Whoa. Hang on. Slabba. Hi Jen, Heather here. What was the $7,052.85 invoice on my late mother's home sale? Do my siblings know? That's the replacement of something big, like a furnace. But that was something that had to be done in order to sell it, I believe. Hello, Jan here. Do you see me in a relationship with Ed in the near future? I don't think so. Not this time is what I heard. I don't know if he comes back later at a different date when he's ready for something like that, but I don't think right now. Okay. Nancy, hello. Jen, this is Nancy. When I move, can you see where or what state I will move? North Carolina. Just flew right out of my mouth. That's true. That's awesome. Hi, Montana Treasures. Betty, do I purchase the house on Northland or Alley Drive for daughter Christy? Northland. Okay. R. Batagalia 811. This is Rhonda. I've been looking for a lost diamond rose gold ring. Will I ever find it or shall? I don't think so. I do think it fell down like in a drain or something on the floor. First on the floor and then down some kind of drain. Could be in the shower. Look there. Maybe you will find it. Jan again, do my spirit guides have a message for me? I really need more than Jan, so let me tune in here. Okay. Now, this is something that you really don't want to say to somebody in the RV community, but they said, patience, this is a lesson. They're probably not talking about that. They're probably talking about something else. Okay, I think I've done the Rumble rants. Let's start scrolling to some other questions here. If you want to do more Rumble rants, feel free. What are we doing on time? All right, we're good. Oh my goodness, Mike's show is going to start in a minute, and he's going to get mad at me because I'm still on. Let's do more questions. So, I'm sorry. You guys don't understand our relationship. We mess with each other like two brothers. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, people also, I'm back at the comments from when I was talking. Somebody said I should have died. Iridescent scent. Iridescent. Iridescent 7. God. I should have died several times. I think many of you have a couple occasions where that you had a close call. I know I did. I mean, I was at a friend's house till we get some more Rumble Rants questions. I was at a friend's house. I told you I was almost feral. I mean, we were outside all the time, morning, summertime, unless we were at school. I mean, just always outside. So I'm at Jamie's house. Jamie had a pool. So we'd travel. It was a long distance to get to her house, but, I'd ride my horse over there and tie it up. Anyway, just to get in a pool that was always dirty, and sometimes I think there was even things swimming around in it. We didn't even care. We would jump off the roof into that pool. So they had this, so her dad, she lived with her dad, and so you were able to do, like, jump off the roof. There's no way that would have gone on at my mother's house now. So she got the big, it must have been, God, it was like 10. It's been like early 80s, mid 80s, something like that. So she gets the trampoline with no net. They didn't have nets on them, the big one. So we're jumping, just, just jumping on this trampoline. So I come down, step back, my foot goes in between the springs. Okay. So I start flying back like a pillow. This giant boulder's right there on the ground. Good place to put the trampoline, next to a freaking boulder that we could fall and kill ourselves on. So I fall, hit the back. I'm always hitting the back of my head on something. So, like, I hit the back of my head, fall flat like this, hit the back of my head on this boulder. Didn't feel a damn thing. I mean, I flew through the air. I mean, I should have died from that. Anybody who grew up in past any time past the 80s would have died from that. I didn't die. I didn't feel anything. I didn't pass out. It didn't hurt. I mean, I was set down on the thing like a pillow. I mean, that's angels. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, the dad, all his girlfriends come running out of the house and like, oh my God, call the ambulance. And I'm just like, I'm fine. Absolutely nothing. That's when you know you have a reason to live. Okay. So we have any more Rumble Rant? Oh, Goof Trooper. Good day, Jen. This is Marcos Ken's. You see what's wrong with my stomach? Colon. Okay. Marcos. So it's a condition like IBS, but it's not actually called IBS. Look up your symptoms. So you do have something going on there. It's the inflammation. There's inflammation in the intestines and the lower intestines. I don't know if that's Crohn's. Look it up. I don't think it's not like a serious thing, but it is a condition that you could get help with from a doctor. Jen, this is Tiffany. Today's my brother's birthday. Can you tell him happy birthday? And I love him. Does he have a message for me? His name is Jim. I call him Cliff. I assume he's passed. Did he pass recently? Because he's like, thank you. And he's like, look at me. Like he's proud that he's so like well and strong and he says, I love you. He says, I'm thinking about you every day. That's interesting. They don't usually say it like that. That's cool. We probably just learned something. All right, thank you. He's completely fine. He knows. And you guys, when you say, can you tell my loved one this, or can you tell Jesus that? Well, first of all, Jesus, that's prayer. You can tell him. You can talk to him too. Your loved one, when you speak to them in your mind, they hear you. Um, when we're not in the body, there is no time, space, walls, limitations for that. You don't have think about this. People are like, but what if they don't hear my thoughts? I'm like, do you have a mouth? If you pass away and this body is gone, what do you speak with? This. This creates that mouth. Okay. So that's what we do with that. All right. Hi, Jen D here from Georgia. I appreciate your teaching and advice. I lost my husband, Bill, about a year ago. I miss him so much. Does he have a message for me? D, Georgia, Bill. He's helping you figure something out to take care of something, or has been. Okay. All right, guys. I know I didn't do that many questions, but we don't really have that many. Thursday night, we're doing a $20 limit Rumble rant. It's all going to be questions. The whole show. Thursday night. I think I don't know what that. So when I scheduled that for. I think I'm doing it at 4 p.m. I might do it at 5 so everybody's home. From work. Okay. Try the 3 steps to centered. Some of you people like me, I walk these steps with the emotional blessings and the spiritual blessings a lot in my life. The whole stepfather one is what this one helped me with. So I was like, okay, I don't want to accept that. I don't want to look at it that way. I don't want to let go of all of this. I don't want to let go of the anger. I don't want to do that. And then I realized, you got to do that. It's limiting. Holding grudges. These roots. Why are they called roots? What's the root of the problem? The root that anchors you in that pain, that suffering, that misery, that cycle. Okay? 3 steps to center. I hope you wrote it down. It will be one of the exercises to conscious creation when I get the book out. If we have, and you also next Thursday, what we'll do is some review on any of the exercises. If anybody has any questions, if you've been practicing any of that, I would go down. I'd go back and learn them if you missed any now, because soon I'll be taking them down, especially when the RV goes. I'll be taking them all down. Because then I'm going to put everything together when I have the time and the funds to do so, and I'm not trying to make a living. So that's happening soon. See how I did that? All right, so that's happening soon. Okay, I love you guys. I'm tired. I've been going all day since very early. And I need to go eat something because I have not done that. And I will see you all on Thursday. No, actually, I'll see you all tomorrow on Real News Live. I'm doing a show tomorrow, too, tomorrow morning. Put it in, RV. It's like this process of loading it to the platforms, and that's all I'm going to say. It's like propagating. It's like the way I'll explain it is this way. Take something very complicated and make it simple. That is my gift. All right. So let's say If you made it this far, you get the RV Intel. Congratulations. So let's just say you got a big company, all right, and they're going to load something into the main computer so that it shows up in everybody's computer screen at everybody's desk, all right? And right now, they've inputted everything, all the codes, rates, everything that they want for this program into the main computer, okay? And let's say they have something, the word I keep getting is propagate. So then they flip the switch or send, and it's supposed to show up on everybody's computer, and we're good to go, and we're ready to get back to work. And it showed up in a couple places and not everywhere. All right, break time. We got to reboot the whole system, and we got to do it again. And that's our Groundhog Day, and that's what's been going on. Love you all. Have a lovely evening. So one day it will show up on all the computers and we'll be good to go. And every day, that's why everybody says it's happening today. It's happening tomorrow. Gentel said Wednesday, Thursday. We're still on. Love you all. Bye.